Bro, Deontay Wilder had a bicep injury. What? What's going on out here? Deontay Wilder, information coming out that he had a bicep injury prior to taking on Tyson Fury in the rematch. Courtesy information from Junior Farr, a New Zealand fighter who's probably going to be taking on Joseph Parker soon himself. But Junior Farr bringing out the headlines, talking about Deontay Wilder bicep injury. What do you guys think? Do you think Junior Farr is telling the truth? Do you think this is just another excuse from the team Deontay Wilder? What's my take on this? The reality is that what is the motive of Junior Farr coming out defending Deontay Wilder? Is he part of Deontay Wilder's inner caucus of his team? No. Is he Deontay Wilder's manager, trainer, whatever? No, he's just a sparring partner. So if anyone was to know if Deontay Wilder had an injury in training, it would be him. Did he get the bicep injury when he was sparring Junior Farr? Maybe it was a bicep injury he got from maybe overusing that right hand on the bag or something. One reason or the other, Deontay Wilder ended up getting a bicep injury, and obviously after the fight with Tyson Fury, he's gone and got surgery on the bicep. I think it's the bicep in his right arm, and that's interesting because let's try and link this. If it's true that Deontay Wilder did have a bicep injury, let's try and correlate that with his performance against Tyson Fury. Now, the question is, would that injury have had any implication on his performance against Tyson Fury? If his bicep wasn't injured, would he have had any difference in his performance? I don't know. But what's my take on this? My take is that in terms of his bicep injury, his right hand did look very, very slow. It didn't have that zip on it that it normally has. I didn't know. Initially, I was attributing it to the weight he put on, coming in at 231 pounds rather than his, mid around that 220, 221, 223, maybe just below 220. He was 209 against Tyson Fury in their first fight. So, putting on so much weight like that, not so much fat, it's mostly muscle bulk. You could see his upper body compared to his legs was much more, look at his back, it's bulky. I was thinking, maybe it's the weight that's slowing him down, like the shots, like that. But Junior Farr talking about he had a bicep injury, and Wilder was talking about in his right hand, his right arm. Is that why Deontay Wilder was tentative to shoot that right hand? Afraid of, potentially having an injury mid-fight, in his bicep? Because before the fight, apart from all the suit and all that, when they took off that mask from his face, you could literally see, like, his body language was like, no, he didn't look confident to me in his body language. He didn't have that same, lion patrolling up and down in the ring like he has against Ortiz or Dominic Brazil or some of these guys. He didn't have even the same zip that he had in the first fight with Tyson Fury. Like, he was moving back from the beginning. A lot of it moving back had to do with Tyson Fury putting the pressure on him, but he didn't stamp his authority like he normally likes to do in his fights. Was his confidence damaged because he knew that he had a bicep injury going into the Tyson Fury fight? Obviously, Tyson Fury managed to execute an excellent game plan, like Junior Farr did say. Junior Farr did say he was surprised that Tyson Fury was able to execute the game plan that he did. But if Deontay Wilder legit came into that fight with a bicep injury, it's just like David Haye when he went into the fight with Tony Bellew, knowing that he's vulnerable to getting injured, that would definitely have an impact on, the game plan of David Haye, and definitely had an impact on his performance, because boxing's a lot about mentality. A lot of people like to say it's 70% mentality. Boxing has a lot to do with mentality. You can't be going into no world title fight against someone like Tyson Fury being unconfident. You need to be ready to go. And if Deontay Wilder's moving in there afraid of pulling his bicep, injuring his bicep again, especially when he saw right hand happy, because if you look at it, his right hands that he did shoot didn't have the power or the velocity on them that they normally do. Was he holding back because he knew he was vulnerable to potentially hurting himself? It's always interesting to look back in hindsight thinking what if, but we never really know what could have happened if Deontay Wilder was maybe truly fit. But hats off to Tyson Fury though, because the game plan that Tyson Fury exhibited, if Deontay Wilder was, fit, would he have been able to catch Tyson Fury with the right hand? Because there's a few times he slightly caught Fury, no, partially. Fury was riding the shots. If he was fully fit, would it just been that split second quicker to catch Tyson Fury with the right hand early? Possibly, we never really know. But Deontay Wilder, we haven't heard much of him talking about these. Usually always on social media, has been quiet. If he's posting, it has nothing to do with boxing. Only thing he's posted is cryptic message talking about Tyson Fury, not Tyson Fury, Dillian White's loss in Russian or something like that. He posted something. So we ain't heard much from Deontay Wilder. You know, is this trilogy going to happen this year? Deontay Wilder obviously had surgery. Has he recovered from the surgery? Is he going to be ready to go for the trilogy potentially in December? I don't want this trilogy happening in 2021. We've got mandatory to take care of. There's undisputed. You know, we ain't got time for this. Hopefully we can get the trilogy to happen late by December. I saw somewhere maybe taking place in China in November as well. So hopefully this fight can take place between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and we can get this saga between the Wilder and Fury wrapped up, and we can see whether it's going to be Deontay or whether it's Tyson Fury going through to take on Anthony Joshua, or I'm not even going to say take on Anthony Joshua, because Joshua's got Pulev and he's got Alexander Usyk, and Usyk himself said he ain't going nowhere. So, you know, we see Usyk's unified heavyweight champion. So let's see what happens. So drop your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Join the KBV boxing community. Let's take this channel to the next level, guys. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Can Deontay Wilder come back and defeat Tyson Fury? A lot of people are ridiculing him. A lot of people are going to talk about he's making more excuses, talking about his bicep injury. But I will say his right hand did look slower than it normally does in the fight. He did look very unconfident prior when they were even giving him his accolades, his wiping his face, you know, rubbing his eyes with his, you know, with his gloves. Like, I was just like, bro, this ain't the normal Deontay. Have you ever seen Wilder wiping his eyes, like looking like he's not on it, looking, as soon as the fight starts, this guy's moving back, right hand looking slow, don't really know what's going to happen. The only Deontay Wilder knows what was truly the case, or what was truly the problem. But drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about what I've said? Is this just an excuse, or was Tyson Fury just a superior fighter and dominating Deontay Wilder? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys think. Cool.